You're listening to the One Step Deeper podcast with your host, Jimmy Moore and Brittany Davis. OneStepDeeperPodcast.com.
Is that a Nirvana shirt?
Yes.
Smells like Teen Spirit.
Yes. Yeah. I'm a big Nirvana fan, and I saw this at the Targets, and so I had to have it.
So you didn't try to get it, you just got it.
Oh, I just got it. No, I saw it, and I was like, oh, that's mine. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
No trying for me. I am all about just doing.
You're the Nike queen.
Yeah, just do it.
Just do it. So what are we talking about?
This morning we are chatting all about trying yourself to failure, which is something that I personally have a lot of experience with, and how when you're actively trying to do something all the time and you're trying and I'm trying to lose weight, I'm trying to do that, I'm trying to be better, I'm trying. Eventually you try yourself to failure because you're not actually doing, you're just trying.
Yeah, it's a problem a lot of people deal with. So you want to introduce the show?
Oh, yes. So welcome in, everybody. This is One Step Deeper podcast, and there's plenty of places that you can go check us out. So YouTube, we air all the episodes on Sundays at 4 p.m. And you can find them there first, and then after that on Mondays, you can find the episodes on anywhere that you listen to podcasts: Apple, Spotify, Stitcher. I can't say that one too loud. And OneStepDeeperPodcast.com. All the episodes are there. We also post everything on Instagram and on Facebook. Facebook is the One Step Deeper Podcast community, and on Instagram, One Step Deeper Podcast. So welcome in, everybody. Episode 21, right? 21?
22.
Wow, I missed that. 22. Yes, trying yourself to failure.
Yeah, so people say, and it's a common colloquialism where they just say, oh, da-da-da-da-da-da, well, I'll try. And that always irked me, and I never understood why people thought that was a good response, because literally when I hear someone say, well, I'll try, it's almost like a middle finger to whatever you just said. Yeah. No, you're not going to try. In fact, when you say I try, it tells me you absolutely are not going to try.
Yes, yeah. And see, I'm so guilty of this. This is something I had to call myself out on, and thankfully you've called me out on it as well, that, oh, I'll try. No, just freaking do it. But yeah, as I awoke myself to all the times that I would say, well, I'm trying to do this, or I'm trying to do that, I started to see other people and how often they said, I'll try. And typically there's always this connection between I'll try and not actually getting anything done, because in your mind you're like, well, I'm going to try this, and if I fail, I'm not going to let myself be upset. And in a way, like, that's cool, like you're protecting yourself from that down or spiral when it comes to like failing at something or learning. As I like to say, you don't necessarily fail, you learn. But in that try, you're just pushing for, maybe this will work out, instead of, nope, I'm going to do this. I have no choice but for this to work out.
Yeah, it kind of gives you permission to half-ass it because, well, I tried. At least I tried. And I think effort should be applauded if you actually try. But do you try with 100% effort, or are you just kind of moseying about it? Well, I tried. It's kind of like the people that go, because both of us come from the keto world. I tried keto, and I go, well, tell me about it. Oh, it was the worst 3 days of my life. I'm like, 3 days? You haven't even started keto yet.
Yeah, like you're not even in ketosis at that point. It's not happening. But yeah, so, and while you're talking, I was thinking about this trying and how, yes, it gives you permission, but also when you say I tried, that's like the end of it. Like, I tried to do that, and then you stop. Well, did you try anything else? Did you find a different way? Did you keep going? Did you pick back up? Did you try until this point and stop? Or did you try and then go, oh, let me keep going. Like after you fell down or something stopped you or whatever the progress was that was being made had stopped, did you keep going? Did you pick yourself back up? But again, when you're like, I tried, it gives you that permission slip to just sit there and do nothing. And I'm like I said, I'm so guilty of this, especially last year after I was recovering from the hospital. Like I would say, I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying. And I was. But also I was already so mentally defeated and so physically defeated that I tried became my permission slip to just lay on the couch and be sad about what life had handed me.
Another part of this try thing is, do you try without any instructions, or are you following something? Because in the example of keto, well, I tried keto. I ate bacon, eggs, cheese, and vegetables, and it didn't do anything. Okay, that's not the totality of what it is. Like, learn what it is, implement other things. Don't just assume you know and then, well, you tried. Well, no, you tried the fake version. Let's do the real version and then put the effort behind that. You may have different results.
Yeah, and I encourage people so much to go out. Like we have so much information at our hands. And so with keto, there's so much free information out there. There's also, best-selling author Jimmy Moore, who's written some keto books. And there's plenty of information within there. And like go for it. So if you want to become a writer, like either find somebody who's already an author and like talk to them about it and learn their ways, or get online. There's plenty of people who make YouTube videos. Like there's so much information out there. I remember like pretty much anything that I've considered myself, okay, I'm pretty good at that. I learned it from YouTube, or I learned it from Pinterest. Like I went out and I taught myself and I'm like, I'm gonna try to learn how to do makeup. Okay, well, then I went out, I watched the video, saw what they did. Let me do that. And then along the way, okay, I got better. And even if I failed or like it didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to be, oops, let's not do that again. Let's try again. Let's keep going. But it's never been this stop for me, even if I did ever stop. So like I said, try something. That's a word that I've said in my vocabulary a lot. But even if I try something and I just fail, just all the way to the ground, just crash and burn, I still make that decision to get back up and keep going.
Well, and you make a good point here that you can try yourself to success. I mean, I think you can't succeed unless you try. But I think what we're talking about here today is the intent behind the try. Are you actually trying, putting forth an effort, that 110% as the colloquialism goes, or are you just kind of dipping your toe into it, trying? That's what we're talking about leads to failure.
Absolutely. You have to take the dive. You can't try to start a new career. You can't try a new path. You can't dip your toe in and see what this is about. Like you have to go all in. I mean, I know a couple episodes back we were talking about what I did in my life when I just threw all of my beliefs out, just toss them out and then start over. But like I was like, I'm just going all the way. Like there's no try, there's no maybe this is gonna work out. This is just it has to work out. Throw it all away. And again, I don't suggest to do that. But yeah, like don't kid yourself that I'm just gonna try this for a minute. I'm just gonna try this a little bit, that it's gonna work out, because you literally have to give it your all. And also mindset wise, if you tell yourself, well, I'm just gonna try this thing, that's a lot different in your mind, and you're giving yourself permission already to stop versus, no, I'm going to do this thing. I'm gonna pick up that Nirvana shirt. I'm gonna buy this. Like this is what's gonna happen.
I think when people say they're going to try, but then they try themselves to failure, and they do that repeatedly, at some point they stop trying. And that's even worse than trying at all, even half-assed trying. You want to have some effort. What leads people down that path? Is it just they're not clearly seeing that they're not genuinely trying?
Yeah, it's just that pattern of over and over and over again they half-ass it, and when you half-ass something, you get half-ass results. I mean, that's just the truth of it. If you don't go all in, it's gonna be half-assed results, if any results at all. And it's discouraging after time after time after time. If you're trying and you tell yourself, I'm trying, I'm trying, and you don't give it your all and you keep failing, then you're just like, why bother? Why bother? And I've been there. I definitely have been there. And I know I referred to last year a lot, but I mean, that was one of the most hardest times I'd ever been through in my life, where I would try to get up and do something, and my body was like, nope, nope, you're not doing that. And so over and over and over again, I just felt like a failure. Like, why am I here? This sucks. I can't get anything done. I can't even wash dishes. And so why bother? Why bother? Why try? And I went through a lot of depression last year of, well, I can't do what I want to do, so I might as well do nothing at all. I'm just going to sit here and be a lump. I'm not even going to try. But it's just repeated over and over and over again. People do try, but something doesn't work quite right, and then they stop. They're just not motivated anymore.
And then you've got the flip side of that, where people try, but they don't know when to stop because it's a hopeless failure. It's like, from the very beginning, they should not have even tried whatever it is they were trying to do. And yet they persist at it, and it's going to work. And so they have this other side of it where they're so confident in themselves that they can accomplish this thing that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And yet they keep pouring themselves, and they wear themselves out in another way.
Yeah, that's a great point to pull up on this try. Like, the complete opposite of the people that are overly confident, like, I'm gonna do this, but it's not something that they ever should even attempt. Ooh, man, I've been there too. So I was a runner before my accident, and I loved running, but running is very like impactful. Like, every time that you run, you just get an impact to your body. And because of my scars and everything, when I tried to pick back running, and I kept pushing, like, I was running a 3K every morning when I wake up in the morning, like, pushing through the pain, just going like, I got this, I can do this, no matter the pain, I can keep going. And I kept telling myself, I'm not trying, I'm doing. And I tried myself until my ass was on the couch in pain, in excruciating pain, because running is not something that goes well with my scars. I can't. And I finally accepted, I can't do that. That is going to cause me physical pain. I can't do that thing. And so let me find something that I can. Yes, I tried. Didn't go so well. And then I decided, okay, what else can I do? That was the point where, all right, I can't be depressed. I can't stay down. I can't be here. I can't whine about not being able to run. Let me go do something. Let me move my body in some way. And so, yeah, there are people out there who have, I mean, I hate using this, but like, short people, not exactly the best basketball players, okay? That's, it just doesn't work out. And so there are just some things that we have to admit to ourselves that we're just not going to be good at that thing, or we're not going to be fully successful at that one thing. Like, if you're terrible at grammar, chances are you might not be the best writer, or if you're terrible at holding a tune, maybe you're not the best singer, and that's okay. And like, we don't have to chase these dreams and chase these things that we're not actually good at. And we can try, and that gives us motivation. When we find something that we're really good at, it's not even about trying. Like, we're just living our truth. We're just feeling good where we are, doing what we love.
Part of this issue of trying is there's no expectation of success. So the inevitability, if you don't have the focus on the success, is you're destined for failure. You have to plan for success. You've got to try to do things that are going to put you in that path of becoming successful. This is why people try themselves to failure. They don't have their eye on the ball of having an expectation of being successful.
Yeah, I think you and I, like, on a phone conversation, we're kind of talking about like these big, huge end goal kind of things. And people look to that for so long that they're like, it's too big. I can't even, like, I can, it's too big. And so I am all about big dreams. I got them. I have them written down. I'm all about manifesting these big astronomical dreams and goals. But you got to have stepping stones to get there. You got to, 10 pounds at a time. You just one step at a time, and don't like overwhelm yourself in this journey of trying something new, of if you don't get to that point down there, that this isn't going to work out.
Yeah. And yet a lot of people live right there in Triville.
Triville.
Away again in Triville. Because you can waste a lot of mental energy.
I love that Triville. Yeah, we'll have to create like a little infographic kind of thing, because that's cute. I could just see like the big truffle of trees and all the, yes, absolutely, Triville. That's where a lot of people stay stuck. They stay stuck there.
With all due respect to Jimmy Buffett.
Oh gosh. Of course I missed that reference.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
You're young and you don't know all the older people.
I immediately thought of Whoville, so.
Whoville works too, with all due respect to the now censored Dr. Seuss.
Yes.
Any new thoughts that you had about trying? I want to hear you take the lead for a bit.
Oh, I draw on my personal experiences so much. Like that's where I come from. Like I've experienced all these things that every single week that we talk about these things is something that I've experienced or you've experienced. And I know I feel like you and I have both tried ourselves. And I look at your story and I think, well, Jimmy's tried himself to success. And he tried something new and he ventured out and he took that leap, and it was probably scary. I mean, I don't know if you and I've ever really talked about like your story and how scary it was.
Yeah, it was starting the business is what you're referring to. 2006. I was at a job here locally in South Carolina. A decent job. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't a great job. And they were starting to lay people off, and I was one of the kind of newer hires in the department I was in. And sure enough, they decided to cut my job. And so then I was like, all right, I can go try to find another sucky job. Or by that point, I had been blogging for about a year and a half. And I made the decision, I want to try to do this full time. I didn't even have the Living La Vida Low Carb show yet. I was just a blogger. But I thought, I have so much more to say. And so I went into business for myself. And that was so scary. It was a big step. But yeah, and I struggled financially for a few years, just getting a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there. But eventually, and I started the podcast. The first thing I did was start the Living La Vida Low Carb show. So now that's one of my legacies of making that big step, trying something that I really didn't know if it was going to succeed or not, but I believed in me. And I think this is a big point with the try thing too. You've got to believe in yourself that the trying is going to be worth it in the end. Because if I was like, well, I'll get behind this microphone and I'll kind of look at it. It wasn't this nice a microphone when I first started, but I'll just kind of look up in the air and down draft. Nobody would have listened. But I brought energy, I brought personality, and people were like, hey, we like the funny Southern sounding dude. Let's keep listening. And then the good thing for me was I did it when nobody had an iPhone. Nobody knew how to listen to podcasts. So that by the time they did get an iPhone, they did start listening to podcasts. They're like, wow, that guy's really good. So you make me sick because you were good from day one on this.
Hello. Like you had your mic and I was like, hello. So what I'm hearing, like when you're talking about your story, is like you never had that, well, I'm just gonna try attitude. You just kind of went full force, all in, let's do this.
All in. It was gonna come hell or high water. I was going to succeed or crash and burn. I didn't know which.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, even that was 2006, October 2006. 2009, I almost gave it all up. I know I've told you this story where it got so bad economically. It was after the crash in 2008. Economically, everybody was kind of like freaking out about what's happening with the money. So they stopped spending on like advertising. And so went away all my money sources. I wasn't writing books at the time. And so it was scary. 10 months in a row, no income. I just was like cutting off cable, cutting off this, eating just eggs. And yeah, it was bad. In fact, the egg fast was born out of Jimmy not being able to afford to buy anything else but the eggs. That's where that came from, actually.
That's so cool. And so like, I just want to honor your story for a second, because some people on the outside, and I'm like 100% sure that you have an experience with this, that somebody on the outside was looking in going, why is he even bothering? Why is he doing this? Why are you trying? And you're just like, nope, I got this. You mind your own damn business. I got this path.
Well, and the funny part about that, yes, it was everybody. I mean, family was the worst. What do you mean you're trying to work on that internet? What are you doing on that internet? I'm like, that internet is going to make me famous and maybe make some money someday. Yeah, it ain't going to happen. So it's like, this is another thing about trying yourself to failure. There's so many people that are going to discourage you in the midst of the try that you're going to start to listen to them and believe them. Jimmy had nice little blinders over his ears that didn't listen to all that, because I knew what I was capable of. I just needed an outlet to prove it.
Yes.
And when I finally did get my book deal, my podcast started being very successful, and I had 2 of the seminal books in nutrition over the past 10 years, Keto Clarity and The Complete Guide to Fasting. Like, that didn't happen by accident. I tried myself to succeed to that level. So when it happened, it wasn't a surprise to me. And then all those same naysayers, oh yeah, we always knew you're going to succeed. I'm like, yeah, screw off.
And I bet all of those people who ever said that are try kind of people. I tried to do the keto stuff and it didn't work out for me. That's the kind of people. Anybody who has something negative to say about a new path, a new goal, a new something that you're trying, if they're being negative, oh man, if you can like cut them out. I mean, I understand some of these people live in your house with you, but like shut that shit down. Like, don't let anybody. Oh man, personal experience. I have somebody in my life who is determined, no matter what I do, no matter what I try, they're going to put it down. And they have told me, when I called it out one time, I was like, why are you doing this? I don't understand. Why every single person, and I've watched him and witnessed this person do this over and over and over again with multiple people, not just me. He's like, well, little negative feedback, that'll push them harder. I'm like, no, it won't. Maybe it'll stop them. Maybe that one negative comment will stop their journey. Maybe they've heard enough negative comments and they're trying so hard to get this done, and you're the one that broke it. Like, you broke them by saying that. Like, that doesn't encourage people. Maybe it encourages you to get negative feedback, but it doesn't encourage me to get negative feedback. If I'm trying at something and I'm giving it everything that I have, and all I hear is somebody in the background going, why are you bothering? Why are you doing that? That doesn't make sense. That's stupid. That's never going to work. Like, that's hard. And so those type of people, honestly, I'm at the point in my life, I can't care anymore. And I know how heartless it sounds. It's not heartless. It's survival for me. And I hope you did the same thing. Bye. See ya. I don't need you in my life. If you're not going to feed into me, you're not going to feed into my try, you're not going to push me to try to success, and you're just going to be part of that trying to failure, you can't be a part of my life on a daily basis.
I think a part of that mentality of discouraging people who are attempting things and, oh, you're gonna fail, is they feel convicted that they're not trying, that they're not attempting to be better than where they are. I think deep within inside of most people, they want to be better than where they are right now. It's just human nature. We're all wanting to be better, but how many are willing to put in the effort to be better, to actually put in that actual effort to try with purpose, not try haphazardly?
Oh, yes. Try with purpose. I like that. I would tattoo that on myself. Yeah. So what I'm doing right now in this Better with Brittany, becoming Brittany Lee, all of these things, I have noticed a trend in the people that I hang out with. And I've also noticed a trend of people in my past falling off and just falling off and falling away, and they're not here anymore. And at first I was confused and hurt by it. And then I realized, Oh, Brittany's growing. Brittany's going. Brittany's not even trying anymore. I'm doing the damn thing. If you want to come with me, that's fine, but I'm not pulling you behind with a rope. Like, this is my path. This is what I'm doing. If you want to join me, let's join. If not, I got places to go and things to do, and I'm trying to better myself. But yes, it's a cold-hearted to them. It feels cold-hearted call out of do better, be better. Like, I don't know how else to say it. It's rough. It's rough around the edges, but you just have to do better. And if you can't get up here where I am, then you'll have to go live your whatever life you're comfortable with. I'm no longer comfortable with not bettering myself. I'm no longer comfortable staying right here. I'm no longer comfortable being the, well, I'll try person. No, I'm not trying myself to failure anymore. I'm not going to try myself and then listen to everybody's outside voice and then fail because of everybody's outside voice. Like, no, thank you. Here's my blinders. Like, I don't want to hear you. I don't want to see you. You stay over there in your lane. This is my lane. I'm going. So come with me or don't.
Hey guys, you know I'm all about healthy nutrition, and I have a brand new product I want to tell you about called Athletic Greens. This is not just a multivitamin. It has 75 essential elements that you want to have in your diet, from probiotics to greens to digestive enzymes to prebiotics. There's so many things that they pack into the Athletic Greens. The main reason why I love them is it puts it all in one place. Like, literally you'd have to a la carte buy all of these different supplements, and they do it all in one package. So if you go to athleticgreens.com/Jimmy, and you can get a special discount if you go there, and the discount is you get a free 1-year supply of their vitamin D as well as some of their travel packs. Go check it out, you guys. athleticgreens.com/Jimmy.
And I think once you try and succeed at something, and you've mentioned people on Instagram, for example, that you used to follow, but you can't follow anymore because they tried, they greatly succeeded, and then they throw it in your face that, oh, it's easy, just do this. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of the antithesis of what we're talking about here today, that yes, try yourself to succeed, but then don't assume that that journey, which I know was hard for this person you're talking about, incredibly hard. It didn't just happen. It wasn't just easy. But now they're pretending like, oh, you just do this and this and you're going to see success. And I'm like, okay, so I can see why people get discouraged in the try, because they say, well, it's supposed to be easy, and it's not easy.
That's disgusting. Jimmy picks on me about this, but usually my reaction to anything like this, it's always the same. It's just ew.
Ew.
Ew. That's toxic. That's gross. Like, please don't ever do that. And again, I honor Jimmy in that I've never seen you put anybody else down. Like, on there, like, when you started following me on Instagram, I probably had like 1,200 followers. Like, I was so little. I was so tiny, so little. But like, you saw something, and it didn't matter how many followers I had, who I was. It didn't matter to you. Like, you were just like, that person, she got something. She got something. But you never put anybody down. You weren't like, oh, look at me and all my followers and my success, and you're a lowly person. No, you were never like that. And so I am so grateful for that. I mean, our friendship was born out of you just seeing people where they are. But you were never that, oh, look what I've done, and it's so easy. Why don't you come up here and do? No, ew. I hate people like that who did struggle on their journey. Don't kid. They are kidding themselves when they say that oh, this was easy. This is the best thing I ever done for me. Maybe it was the best thing that you ever done for yourself, but that doesn't make it easy. Excuse me. I lost 70 pounds with keto. And in comparison to other things I've tried, yeah, it was pretty easy to me. But it was easy for me. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy for anybody else. It might be the most difficult thing that they had ever attempted. And so I'm not going to get to the end and go, oh, look, I lost 70 pounds doing this. Why aren't you doing it? I mean, that goes back to our no excuses episode. Like, please don't do that to people. That is so discouraging. We're just here to encourage people. And I know it's hard. Like, I know whatever you're facing right now, it is so incredibly difficult. I can't even imagine being where you are. Listener, I can't even imagine being where you are right now. but I encourage you to keep going. Like you got this. You can do this. And if you don't feel like you can do it, if you don't feel like you can keep going, just find me on Instagram, becoming.Brittany Lee on Instagram. Jimmy too, living low carb man. And we will encourage you and just pour into you and tell you, you got this. Come on, let's keep going. Come on.
You made such a good point in there about when one person tries and succeeds, someone else could do that exact same path to try and fail. And so not always the path. And it's why I think it's nauseating in the diet and health industry of, well, I did this and you can do it too. That doesn't mean anything to me. The fact that you did it means you found something that worked for you. But this applies to all areas of life, not just in weight loss. Like, I did this to become a millionaire. Okay, good. Doesn't mean your principles are going to apply to my life. I'm a different person. I'm going down a different path. I live in a different part of the country. I have different potential clients for my business, blah, blah, blah. It's not necessarily translatable. And that's part of this discussion as well. Try for one person is going to be different. Try for another person to reach the same end result.
Yeah. I think about my husband in his workplace. I don't have much workplace experience. Okay. So like, I had a job at a nuclear plant in high school and while I was going to college for a couple of years. And then I had a desk job at a naturopathic office. Like, that's my work experience. So I don't have a lot there. So I have to draw from other people.
One more. You're a full-time mom.
Oh, okay. I meant like paying, go to a job. Yes.
Yeah, I want to honor all the moms out there. That is a full-time, never-ending job.
That is a job where you are trying with everything that you have, and you're just trying to get to the end of the day.
You're trying to hold on for dear life is what you're doing.
Find anything to anchor to and just make it through the storm to get to the end of the day.
And sometimes forest fires you have to endure.
Guys, listen. All right, quick little story, side story. And this is about trying. Okay. I had just got home. I had been traveling and
2 days ago.
Yes, 2 days ago. I just got home. I was traveling and I just sat down. I was having a lot of pain, which, by the way, I have been in so much pain the last couple of days. Like, I don't know why, just physical pain from my stomach. And so I wasn't feeling myself anyway. And then all I hear is banging on my front door. I'm like, I have a doorbell. What is wrong? It was a cop at my front door going, you got to evacuate. You got to leave right now. There was a forest fire, like we could see out the front yard. And it was like the wind was blowing super bad. And I was like freaking out, like, oh my gosh, I don't even have pants on. Let me go grab some pants and grab the kids. And I don't even know what to do. I'm just got the kids. And I'm like, get in the car. I don't know where we're going, what we're doing. And I was like just trying to get out of here. And I ended up, we were gone. Nothing happened. We're safe. The fire's all contained now, but my house smells and reeks of smoke. It's been a week. But hey, I'm thankful that I could be here. And I'm still here. My house is still standing. Everything's good. No houses got damaged. But yeah, that's a little side story about what Jimmy was referencing there. Yeah, it's been a week.
Yeah.
There was no, and that's another side of this. When you're trying to do something and you're like pushing, you've got these goals, you've got things to do, please honor that life happens. Like, please don't beat yourself up and try yourself to failure when it comes to this, that life comes up. Now, I wasn't getting a workout in when I had a forest fire, like threatening my home, and that's okay. I didn't get any physical work done in my office on that day because I had this crisis going on. And I had to honor that all of these goals and plans and dreams that I had did temporarily have to be paused. Like, the try had to be paused so that I could push through it. I had to deal with this forest fire, quite literally. I had to deal with this. And we have these little fires that come up so often in our life. And we're just like, well, let me not even focus on this. I'm not even going to feel the feels of this because I'm just trying to do this thing. Please stop. Just please stop and honor what you're feeling. And I promise you, if you would give yourself 1 hour to honor whatever it is that you're feeling, it wouldn't feel like such a burden and a task to keep going and trying. Like, just honor what, instead of trying to pull this, like you got a baggage, like you're trying to pull this and go, it's not going to work. Stop and honor this thing and get it off your shoulder and feel better. And it will be so much easier to keep going. I know I have a family member on hospice, and I've gotten, the latest text of he's not going to be here much longer. And I've like multiple times a day, like if I'm working or something like triggers me, I'm like, all right, give me a second. I need to feel this for just 1 second. Okay. And keep going. Instead of like, I can't even keep going. Now, that is my tendency of not talking about things and not that is a tendency of mine. I'm just pulling it along, and then I realize I can't do this. I'm going to try myself to failure because I'm going to push, and I'm going to push, and because I'm not facing this thing, I'm going to push myself so hard to not face this thing because I'm running from it, that I'm going to fail at whatever I'm trying because I'm going to push too hard.
So I had a friend last year was trying to start a new business, and her Kickstarter was scheduled to start the first day of the lockdown. It was like all of her plans that she was trying to do to get this business off the ground, and she had spent hundreds of thousands of dollars kind of getting all the infrastructure in place, the research and development. They've been working on it, her and her business partner, for 2.5 years. Yeah. And then like the launch was right when everybody wasn't paying attention to anything but the pandemic. So she ended up trying again in June, and now the business is up and running, and they can't keep the product in stock. So she could have seen, oh my gosh, all this effort I put into this down the drain. I tried, okay, that didn't work. But instead, and she started having some supply issues with various ingredients in the product that she couldn't get because of the limitation. So she had every reason to fail after she tried. But
Yeah.
what did she do? She stuck to it. The stick to itness of that moment propelled her to try some more. And part of trying is adapting as well. So you could try thinking you're doing the right path, but maybe you're sort of kind of cozying in the direction of where you want to go, but you need something pointed that says this is what you need to do. And so be okay pivoting. Like last year when you got in the hospital, right before that happened, you were running, you were feeling great. It was like one of the best times of your life post keto journey. And then suddenly, boom, what did you do? Well, you whined and complained, as anybody would. We all would.
Yes.
But pivoted. You've gotten more into who I think is the authentic Brittany. You were already kind of showing signs of having that deeper, going one step deeper with people and everything, but you've upped your game to a whole new level. That pivot now, you've tried your way to success in that way. And you're pivoting even still. Some things behind the scenes that you're working on are going to pivot you again to hopefully be successful, but it might be a failure, but you're willing to go down that journey just to see what happens.
Yes, and I've gotten to in my try journey where I am trying this thing, and I am 100% comfortable. I was going to say I'm 100% comfortable with success. I don't think I'm comfortable with the idea of success yet. I'm still working on that. But I am 100% comfortable with trying and giving everything that I have to this thing, and it not turning out any particular way. I have no expectations on what this is going to look like. Maybe like a small part of me is like, yeah, I have some expectations, but expectations fuel frustrations. That's just a little tidbit for you there. So I'm not even going to try to frustrate myself on this journey. I'm not even going to expect anything out of it, but I am going to give it everything that I have. I'm pouring myself into it. But I love what you're saying, that this idea of trying, you have to pivot. And that doesn't mean that you failed. It's just you changing and pivoting. Like, I've done this with my diet so many times, it's disgusting since the hospital. So For any new listeners that doesn't know my story, just real quick, I was in the hospital for almost 30 days. I lost part of my intestines. I almost died. Like it was horrific. But because I lost part of my intestines, ever since the hospital, I've struggled with digestion. Like so much. I go through bouts where I can't eat a single vegetable without bloating to Mars. Like it's like my stomach is like, and it hurts. And when I bloat, all of my scars, I have an 8-inch incision and I have three 3-inch incisions. Like my stomach is just all scars. And that bloat pushes on all of my scars, which a long time ago, like recently, I've just been really sad about when the pain comes up and it's hard to deal with. But now I'm just like, cool, let's honor this. Let's feel this. Not going to work out. Nope, not going to push through this. Nope, I'm going to honor what my body's doing and then I'll keep pushing. But wow, of course I said that and forgot where I was going. Oh, but I know. I got it. So I've had to pivot with my diet and pivot with how I treat my body. So I already said, I was running. I can't do that anymore. So I started lifting weights and my body was not happy about lifting heavy weights. So I had to pull back on that and I had to adapt instead of going, well, damn, I can't do what I want to do. So I might as well give up. No, I just changed. Okay, let me try this. I tried to get back to keto over and over and over and over again. And a couple weeks in, I was lethargic and I didn't feel good and I couldn't digest and I just felt awful. And so I had to pivot. I had to change what I was doing because I just kept hitting this roadblock. And I think that was my try. And there was a roadblock of, nope, this isn't the path. Try something else. Like let's just pivot and keep going. And that's what I've done. I'm not giving up on feeling my best. I'm not giving up on bettering myself. It might not look like what I thought it was going to look like, but I'm going to keep going. And I mean, you've had to do this. You've had to adapt over and over and over again. And I think that's really mine and your story from childhood. We just adapted to whatever environment we were around. And sometimes we were like, oh, hell no, I am not staying in this environment. I'm getting the hell out of here. I ain't adapting to shit anymore. I'm just getting out of here. But yeah, like on that path of try, adaptation is so vital.
And as you were talking, I was thinking about how sometimes we let desperation for whatever push us into trying things that aren't great. And so going back to the weight loss, think about the people that try every quack diet trend known to mankind, the grapefruit diet, the peanut butter cookie diet. That was a real one, the cookie diet. I actually interviewed that guy on my podcast one time, Dr. Siegel. He sent me some of the cookies. They were very, very, very high in fiber. And so apparently you're going to crap out your weight. But like desperation drives people to try, which will inevitably fail. If you are trying because you are desperate, you're going to fail. Like, don't let desperation be your motivational factor for why you try anything.
Yes. So when I started weight loss, I was in desperation mode. I was at the biggest I'd ever been. I felt horrible and I was in desperation mode. And the pure results is what kept driving me in the beginning. Like I was just getting such great results. It was just, but the way I started my journey, definitely don't recommend. Again, it was one of those, I'm going all in. You got 7 days. What you got? And, but looking back, I never would suggest that when I was having my own clients and I was coaching on the ketogenic diet. I did that for a little bit. I would always tell them, stop with the expectations that you're going to drop 10 pounds in a week. Just stop putting that pressure on yourself. Stop, because when you do that, when you put that such high pressure on yourself, you think you failed when you only lost 2 pounds, or when you only got one new client, or when you only, I'm trying to like make this relative to something that's not weight loss, like when you only do this thing. Why are we so inept on this thing, this progress that we made, downing it because it's not more? It's still freaking progress. You're doing it.
Yeah, and on the concept of trying yourself to failure, let's define failure. Because in mind, you might think you tried, you failed, but you were on the journey. You only lost 2 pounds, but you expected 10. You lost 2 pounds. So I think, is that a failure or success? In the context of expecting 10, 2 pounds is a failure. On the progress of, or on the concept of people progressing towards a goal, it was huge success. And so that's another part of this discussion. People stop trying because they think they've failed and they haven't actually failed.
Yes, exactly. Man, that speaks to me because that is who I am. I think I failed because I didn't make this particular goal by this particular time. And so, I'm a failure, worst person ever. I'm just a horrible, terrible person because I did not achieve that thing. I didn't achieve that lofty goal by that certain amount of time. And so I've learned along my path, stop putting a date on it. Just stop. And so, you know what? And I know this is really hard for people to wrap their brain around when they're at that desperation mode with trying to lose weight. I want to lose weight, guys. Okay. I'm 20 pounds heavier than I want to be right now. Thank you, post-hospitalization. Thank you, COVID. Thank you, stress. Thank you, you name it. And I've tried and tried and tried. And finally I got to the point where I'm trying myself to failure over and over and over. Ask Jimmy, over the last near freaking year, I've attempted weight loss. I just want to lose weight. Over and over again. And I push myself and then I crash every single time because my body's not ready. And also, I had that mindset of, well, I didn't lose 10 pounds, so I'm a failure. Even though I would lose like 2 if I would just keep going. I'm laughing at myself, guys. And I would call Jimmy like distressed because I wasn't making enough progress. But still making progress. But I would try myself to failure.
If you lost a half a pound a week for a full year, that's 26 pounds.
And that's what I need to lose. That's more than I need to lose.
So that's how you do it. When you try, set reasonable goals so that, like we talked about how to eat an elephant, it's one bite at a time. And I told you when we were talking about this episode the other day, I didn't lose 180 pounds. I lost 10 pounds 18 times. Yes. That was my goal. In fact, I had it every 10 pounds on a little downward. I made a big poster board. This was back in 2005. So we didn't have graphics and things. But I made this poster board and I would track it. And every 10 pounds, I would celebrate. So the first week I lost, 15 pounds in the first week? I had a lot of stuff in me. I just had to get out. But like every 10 pounds, I would celebrate the 10 pounds. So then the next one, I'd be like 1 pound away. I'm like, I got to get on there. And I would then celebrate when I hit that next 10 pounds, not with food, but with doing an activity. It was fun. And towards the end, those celebrations became less frequent, but that's okay. At the first, I was celebrating so much. I was like, it was so fun to see that and get that validation that my trying was succeeding because I was celebrating in the midst of the try, not waiting to the very end goal to say, woo.
Oh, woo. That was, sorry, that was so funny. Woo. Okay, sorry, that was distracting for me. So yes, I'm doing the same thing right now. So I told myself, all right, this is my story, guys. Behind the scenes, I promise you will learn all about it very soon. Behind the scenes. Jimmy and I are working on something. And I said, well, okay, I'm going to try. And so what I did was the room that I'm sitting in was a guest bedroom. It is decorated for a guest bedroom. That was the plan. It's pink. I don't know if you noticed. I'm not a pink person. This is not me. This is not my style. This is a guest bedroom pretty. That's what that was. And so when Jimmy and I started the podcast, I quickly realized I need a room that doesn't have a bed in it. When I first started recording, it was really sad, my setup. Like I had Rubbermaid containers sitting on top of each other in this teeny tiny little ring light that if I hit any of those containers, it was falling down. So that's how I started this podcast, guys, from the bottom up. And now we're 22 episodes in, and I'm looking around at this office that has a desk in it that was just a makeshift desk. And I've got this makeshift room, and I realize, oh, I'm makeshifting my goals. I got big goals. I got big things I'm going to do, and I've been trying at this, and now it's time to go all in. And I've just, because that's what I kept telling to myself, well, if this doesn't work out, I'll be totally fine. And I still feel that. I still feel that energy of I don't need this to be any certain thing. I don't need any certain I don't have any certain expectations. But at the same time, I have to feel this. I have to feel this path that I'm going down. I can't just kind of go in here and like tiptoe and plus I'm a girl and I need a space. I need pretty. Okay, I need pretty. I need my office to be pretty. But in putting the effort and the money and the drive into this environment, into what I'm going after, it's going to try me to success rather than try me to failure. Because this goes back to like just dipping your toe in, which is what I was guilty of in the beginning. I'm like, let me see how this podcast thing goes. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really know how to do this. Let me just see how this goes.
Well, and let's back up to the podcast itself. You know how many weeks we had to talk back and forth? I'm not qualified. Yes, you are. I'm not qualified. Yes, you are. I don't want to try. Yes, you should. I don't want to fail. I won't let you. I mean, we had those conversations about this very podcast. You kicked and screamed yourself until I was like, all right, let's just record one. And we did episode 1. And you're like, that was cool. Can we do another one? I was like, yeah, that's the point.
3 back to back. I was so excited after that first. I was a little nervous. If you go back and listen or watch episode 1, yeah. Welcome to Chaos. It was a little bit, so I was a little nervous, I definitely wasn't as comfortable on camera and on vocals as I am now. And I try to get better every week where I'm not as nervous. But yeah, like going back to that, you had to pull me along of, Brittany, just try, please. Like, come on, let's do this. There was a lot of that.
In your case, being the perfectionist that you are, trying, you don't want to try because you risk not being perfect. And that messes your brain up entirely. So I'm going to step on your toes and anybody else that's a perfectionist.
Bring it.
You probably don't try a lot of things you should have been trying because of the fear of not being perfect. And I want to say, if that's anybody, including you, Miss Brittany, anybody out there right now, there's something you always wanted to try and do and attempt to accomplish, don't try yourself to failure before you even try, because that's also a form of trying yourself to failure, is not trying yourself to failure.
I'm not crying at all. That was a total call out, and I know, and I needed it. I need that so much. So starting a podcast has been something I wanted to do for 3 years. 3 years, even before like weight loss. Like I had started listening to podcasts. I was like, God, this is so cool. I'd love to have one. I didn't know what. I didn't know what I want to talk about it. I had no idea. I'm like, I want to do this. And I remember when you interviewed me, so long ago, before our podcast, on yours, on Levita. I can't remember if it was Levita or Real Talk.
It was, it was one where I was talking about childhood trauma. I want to say it was Real Talk, and it was in like February or so last year, or March last year when I first came back. You were one of my first guests back.
Yeah, and that was actually the second podcast that I had gotten interviewed on. And every time I would get interviewed, it would just like, oh my God, I want to do this every week. I love this so much. I love it. And so like I just had this drive. And so, man, honestly, thank you. And to all the listeners, guys, if it was not for Jimmy, this thing would not be here, because I needed a lot of, I am a perfectionist, and that is a definite part of this. Don't not try because it's not going to be perfect. Because let me tell you, it's not going to be. Talk to the perfectionist here. It's not going to be perfect on your first time. It's not going to be perfect on your 100th time. You know why? Because we're not perfect. We can't. There's no achievement of perfect. The achievement is progress. And so I look back at episode 1. Oh, man. I looked back at episode 1 recently and I was like, ooh, girl. Ooh, girl.
Oh, you should episode 1 of the Livin' La Vida Low Carb Show. Welcome back to the Livin' La Vida Low Carb Show with Jimmy Moore. Oh, it's so horrible. I'm listening to my voice going, why do I sound like a clown in a circus? It was so weird. I may have to pull it out and air it.
Oh my goodness. That would be so cool to pull that one out.
Grasshopper New Media presents the Livin' La Vida Low Carb Show with Jimmy Moore. Some people don't want you to know the truth about the healthy low carb lifestyle. It's a lifestyle change that helped me shed 180 pounds. The USDA and the FDA aren't going to help you. You need to take responsibility for your own health. Hello, low carbers! Hey there, all you wonderful people out in podcast land. My name is Jimmy Moore, and I'm your host of this broadcast you are listening to right now called the Livin' La Vida Low Carb Show.
1,600 episodes in, 1,600.
1,700 plus now.
Oh, yes.
It goes to show you that try is the first step to any success, even if that try seems like a failure at the time. By the way, a guaranteed way to failure is to absolutely not try something you are equipped and talented to do. And you, young lady, were meant to podcast. I get so many people behind the scenes write me every week. I love Brittany. Don't you ever let her go. Don't make her mad as your friend, because I don't want to lose having her as a podcast. I'm like, I know.
Oh, goodness. Yes, I love what I do here, and I'm so thankful for all the listeners. I'm thankful for the path that's gotten me here. It is definitely 100% proof that, all right, I'll try that thing. And then at first, like I said, I had no expectation. When I attempted this at first, it was I'll try. And then after episode 1, I was like, oh no, we doing, baby. We doing this. This is happening. So 22 episodes in, I cannot wait till we're 122 episodes in, looking back at this moment. Like I can't wait for that. And I see that journey. And so saying to everybody listening and watching, like, give it all you got. Like, you got that. Like, I so believe in you right now. Even if you don't believe in you, I believe in you. Like, you let me be for you what Jimmy was for me. Like, come on, Brittany. Come on. You can do this. You got it. Come on. I'm so thankful for that. And sometimes Jimmy had to give me tough love, but he has permission to, because I'm a tough love kind of person. And so just the tough love to you guys. Just do the damn thing. Like, just get up and do the damn thing. Stop being in your brain about it. Stop trying. Well, I'm not gonna be perfect. Stop. Just stop. Just do the thing. Do the thing. Don't try yourself to failure. Try yourself to success. You got this. I believe in you.
Very well said. Well, we're at the end of the show. That's episode 22 of the One Step Deeper podcast, trying yourself to failure. Don't do that. And I like what came out of us today. It's so funny. We sometimes will talk a little bit about the episode. We brought out things today that we didn't even talk about the other day. So that's what I love about the spontaneity of our show. We don't script really anything. We just talk. And so we inspire each other, and some good stuff came out today. OneStepDeeperPodcast.com is the website. Go check it out. You can see the videos embedded there, as well as listen to the audio. It does air and debuts on YouTube Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Just type in a keyword, One Step Deeper. You'll find it on YouTube. We also have it air on Mondays, all the usual suspects where you can listen to podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Alexa, all of the ways that you can listen. And then go check us out on social media, One Step Deeper Podcast, over on both Facebook and on Instagram. And as always, if you like the show, go leave us a review. But we've got lots more to come. We're not going to try. We're going to do more podcasts in the coming weeks and months. And we're excited to have you come along for the journey. So thanks so much for being here today.
Yes.
OneStepDeeperPodcast.com.